What's going on, guys? I'm Brooks from Big Number One Motorsports, and I would like to show you this. This is the 2015 Ducati Multistrada S Touring. Now, the Touring comes with heated grips, center stand, and saddlebags. We're taking the saddlebags off of this because this is our demo model, and people kick bags and whatnot. We want to take them and keep them nice and safe. I'm going to go over a couple of things that this bike now has new from 2014. I'm going to start right up front with the nice, beautiful, high-intensity headlights up front. Now, these things are crazy, awesome, bright, and I don't know if you've ever, had something that has HIDs or LEDs and things like that. The light is beautiful. It's white. It's crisp. It's wide. That's one thing. You can see the whole road. You can see from shoulder to shoulder on a 4-lane highway on a motorcycle, which is unheard of. And like I said, I personally own this bike, and it's fantastic. This is the best night riding motorcycle I've ever ridden, to give you that confidence, that peace of mind that you can actually see what's going on. Sticking with the headlights, headlights are kind of a boring thing, but it's new stuff. It's just kind of rad. If you use it like it's supposed to be used, and it works well. These are actually adaptive headlights, and what that means is this bike comes with an IMU, which means inertial measurement unit. Now, it uses what that is feeding back from the bike, doing pitch, yaw, everything else, and the actual lights will move. If I say remove, they actually come on. There's 3 of them up there, and they all fixed at a certain angle. So as you're leaning the bike, it will actually light up where you're going, where you need to be. Unlike at night, you can only see what's going on in front of you. It can be a little bit unnerving, especially if you like to stay on the throttle a little bit, like I do. That you can actually see what's coming. And I know it sounds simple, but it's awesome. It's a huge confidence booster at night when you're trying to ride this beautiful motorcycle. Another thing for 2015 is the new DVT motor. Now, it is still a 1200cc like the previous iteration of this bike, but they've gone and they've done DVT, desmodromic variable timing. And you're familiar with variable valve timing, I'm sure. You know what it does. But the big advantage of this being a twin, some of the big bore twins, some of you guys that are familiar with some of these, they're not really conducive to smooth riding down on the low end of the RPMs. The DVT really changes all of them. This bike will pull from 500, 800 RPMs, nice and smooth. It's about up there with an inline 4. I'm not so sure it's not as smoother than an inline 4. It just creates torque, usable smooth power down below that normal 2,000, 3,000 RPMs like most twins do. They've jumped up this year from 150 to 160 horsepower and up to 100.3 foot-pounds of torque. The motor is fantastic. It's smooth, light, easy. It's a puppy dog in traffic, which is unheard of on a big bore twin. I can't say enough about it. I mean, like I said, this is my daily rider. It's absolutely phenomenal. Another thing they've done is they've kind of changed where the motor sits in the frame and everything else. This being an adventure bike, sport adventure, adventure touring, sport adventure touring, wherever you want to go with that, they've upped this, and they have a whole inch of extra clearance down here. They move the motor up in the frame to get that done. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, Brooks, that's a tall bike. And they've moved it up. So yeah, they have. But with them moving the motor and tilting it like they have, this part right here where your thighs are at, is actually much thinner than the previous year model. So even though the bike is a little bit higher, the seat height's a little bit higher, which is adjustable, by the way, the center of it is very, very narrow, so you don't have to, you lose a lot below your legs out. Trying to sell this bike, you lose a lot of stretch. So even though the bike is taller, it's much easier to feel and handle, because here is so much more thin than previous. They've gone and changed the bag system on this, and I wish I had the bags to show you, but it's very tough to do that in detail unless I get the camera over here and I'm really showing you everything. The latch system is much more efficient than the previous year models. Everything feels a lot more secure. It's very, very easy to get the bags on and off. They are removable. Any base model all the way up to the Touring, the bags are available. They connect right here into the subframe. There's no awkward big brackets hanging off of it like you do the BMWs. Not knocking BMW by any means, but this is similar to some of you guys that have owned Yamahas in the past, FJR, things like that, where the bags do fit directly into the subframe. And they're tighter that way. The bike's not as wide. And when you pull the bags off the bike, as you can see, it still looks beautiful. It doesn't look like it's missing anything. which is a huge plus because this bike is, it's just a big, tall sport bike, touring bike on my butt. This is a sport bike with all the nice touring feels. You got good wind protection and the hand grips up front, which really keep the cold air off of you and really keep that off all the way up pretty much to your arm. Sticking with the wind protection of it, is still adjustable with the pinch style, which is a one-hand operation if you're zipping down. You know, I keep mine low, 50 miles an hour, give or take, right up in there. And when you jump up on the interstate, you can reach up and grab it, pop it up. Air goes right over your head. I'm about 5'9", 5'10", depending on how many beers I've had that day, and it works perfectly for me. Tons of upgrades. I wish I could show you the gauge cluster on this, but this video is running a little bit long on this side. They've gone up to this little groovy key. Everything is now hands-free. You don't actually need a key. Jimmy's tossed me this, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the beautifulness. Ducati! This is very similar to the Panigale now. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a little bit dark in here. This is black at night. During the day, the backlight is white, and everything's very easy to see. Everything changes contrast and brightness and whatnot, and pretty much all that is, you never have to change it yourself. It does it automatically. Nice big huge gear selector, big tack running across the top of it, and this bike is actually in touring mode right now, which tells you pretty much everything. Wherever your Bluetooth is at, this is, you know, rider, passenger, headrests, everything else. You can do it to your phone. Ducati wheelie control, traction control, ABS, all this is displayed up here, and you can see exactly what's going on at all times. Big, huge fuel gauge right there. They've really done a good job in letting you know what all this bike does, because it does do so much, and they have found a very efficient way and a very beautiful way to give you all the detail that you need right up front to tell you where you're at. I don't know, you really can't say enough about it. I love this, love the changes, love the headlights, really, man. I can't say, I'm going back to the headlights again, but they're beautiful, they work well, you can really see where you're going. The motor sitting up in the frame, you know, everything is so much more comfortable than the previous year model. The 4-valve DVT motor is just, I mean, it's out of this world. It gives you everything. Yeah, while it doesn't probably have the raw power that the BMW XR has, 160, 165, 150, when you get up in that kind of horsepower, it doesn't really matter, man. When it comes down to it, this is still a touring motorcycle and adventure bike, and it does everything that it does out of this world well. And you should come down and ride one. If you're anywhere close to the market, grab one of these. Call me. My name is Brooks. We'll get you out on the road. Trust me, you'll love it.